Georgia on the logo, celebrating back-to-back Nats. Perfection wears red and black tonight. 15-0, the Dogs have done it and won a second consecutive national.
Oh man, oh man, oh man, not again.
Lead flicker to get the night started. Downfield looking for Godwin, into his hands, and guess which Dogs are barking first? Uga, get after it. Sonny Michelle will send the Dogs home to the championship game.
And Bobo throws that thing in the end zone, and
yes! Touchdown! Touchdown in the goal line!
Sigue Ringo, corta dentro, Ringo, touchdown! Georgia!
Georgia Bulldogs bludgeon their way to back-to-back. Glory, glory, Georgia, as the fight song says.
This is our love for each other. 1 + 1 = what? 3. We are better together and we are connected.
This is Robert Iron E. Singleton, a.k.a. D-Dog from The Walking Dead, or Alton from The Blind Side, and you are watching Respect the Hedges on the Fan Addict Sports Network. All right, guys, go Dogs. Sick 'em.
Welcome in, Dog Nation, and Respect the Hedges family. Let me back that up. Welcome in 2024 SEC champion, Dog Nation, and Respect the Hedges family. We are here for another episode of Respect the Hedges on the Fan Addict Sports Network, man. We're going to get this thing popping. The Dogs won the SEC championship. We're going to talk about it, beat Texas twice. Hey, man, as always, y'all know, brought to you by Tailgate Kings. We ain't gonna belabor the point, man. Let's go ahead and bring the fellas in, man. First up, former DB at UGA and baseball player. It's our guy coming up first, man. It's E-Rob. What's up, champ?
What's happening, Coach? I'm glad you corrected yourself. Do not address me as a mere mortal. I am an SEC champion. Please address me as such. Thank you very much. Now, look, Saturday was a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day in Atlanta. And then it got even more beautifuler. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make up a word, beautifuler, because I Forrest Gump my way into the game. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't even watch it on TV. Before I knew it, I was sitting right there at the game, man. It was a great atmosphere. Like we talked about last week, unpredictable and resilient. That is these Dogs. So I don't know what's gonna happen in 3 weeks. But one thing I do know for sure is you don't either. Go Dogs.
Big facts. I can tell you what I do know, E-Rob. We SEC champions. I do know
Let's
that.
go. I like that.
So next up in the building, man, coolest fan in the land, it's our guy, Cool Cal. What's up, champ?
What up?
What's happening, champ?
What up? That's what I'm saying. Champ. It feels good. So that's the moniker for the day. We champions. You know what I'm saying? And we just gonna leave it right there. That's it.
Wait, facts.
Say less.
And less was said. Let's go ahead and bring in Mr. Tailgate Keys himself, former tight end, Mr. Javaris Johnson. What's going on, JV? What's up, champ?
Hey, what's happening, champ? Man, it's good to be in a room full of royalty and champions. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? I mean,
Yes, sir.
everybody don't know what it feels like to be us, but man, shame on them, man. You need to pick a better team. You need to run with a better crew.
Ooh.
We did that damn thing, man. You know, adversity. We stuck together, man. Connection. Shout out to 16 because it seems like, man, whatever pops up in front of him, he handles it in a 16 way. Everybody wants to model and should be modeling themselves after what that man does and achieves. Shout out to that team, man, that stayed resilient and kept those down horns, flamed up. I like mine medium. and
Me too.
tasting very, very delicate and fine. Won't you agree? Shout out to everybody, man, who came out. Shout out to everybody who came out, man. The Mega Gate 2. Shout out to all the folks and fans that was in that building, baby. It was electric. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, man. Let's bring on our guy, man, former wide receiver Corey Allen. What's going on, CA? What's up, champ?
Excited, man. 2024 all over again. Champions just like we planned. Never knew how we were going to get here, but, man, couldn't have been more excited. I think that, just as everybody said, it's a tribute to the coaching staff, a tribute to the players, and a shout out to the fan base. You pushed that team to a championship. That environment was electric. I was right outside. I was a part of what Tailgate Kings had going on, so I love the environment and the atmosphere, but just glad that we came out Dawgs on top on a Saturday night again. Can't be happier.
That's right, man. That's right, man. The Dawgs on top again. JV did have the Tailgate Kings pumping. I got some great footage. Wish I could have been there. JV, tell us about Saturday, man. The pregame festivities before the Dawgs took the field.
Hey, man, we did it like we normally do for any type of Tailgate King function, man. We tried to make sure that the vibe was right. We tried to make sure that the food was good. We tried to make sure that the drinks were strong and that the people were right. So, shout out to Atlantucky, man. Shout out to Deidre Bembry State Farm Agency for, sponsoring the event. Shout out to Island John and Gene Tootle for being sponsors at the event. Shout out to Sucre Desserts, man, for bringing through some delicious delectables. And NZJ DJ for keeping that vibe showing up right, man. My guy does his things on those 1 and 2s, man. And then, of course, you got to shout out to the Kingdom, baby. The Royals, they showed up, man. We showed out. We had a great time. And everybody in the building, they did exactly what we expected them to do, which was, yell, scream, and be some dogs in the building. So we accomplished our goals and our mission. And now we champions. That's how we do it.
We champions. That's how we do it, man. E-Rob, tell us how you Forrest Gumped your way into some tickets on Saturday.
So I'm right around the corner from the tailgate. My partner has a Jerry German, Lil Joe. So barbershop right around the corner. I go by to holler at him. Yeah, exactly. So I'm chilling. We sitting outside. We pre-gaming, having a good time, talking about something. I get a call. E-Rob, you want to go to the game? I was like, shit, what game? Because I was like, I know you ain't. I know you're not talking about the game that's right here. So, man, I'll be remiss if I don't shout out my boy James Cornelius Goldie. He came through. That's the phone call I got. E-Rob, you want to go to the game?
Hey,
what game? Yeah, I started walking right then. I got the call, started walking, walked right to the dome. So Forrest Gump. That's how Forrest Gump. My way right to the dome.
Hey, nothing like them last minute tickets hit harder than, you know what I'm saying, when you didn't even expect it, and then you walk in there and watch a great game from the Dawgs, man. Let's bring our other boy up in here, man, former wide receiver and track star at UGA, Shawty Parker. What's going on, champ?
Gentlemen, what's happening? What's happening, champions, fellow champions?
All right, man. All right.
Look at him. Well, you look like a champion.
There you go.
Right. Like you fresh out of war, you know what I'm saying? Massacring some steak, you know what I'm saying?
We are. You know what I mean? It was a battle, man. It was a war-torn game, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Big facts, man. Them Dawgs went in there and did their thing, man. Something about playing against that Texas offense, man, to get them boys up front going good, man. Get them oiled up, man. So, hey, man, shout out to the Dawgs, man. We're going to get some more shout-outs later on to some coaches and players and things like that. But let's start with some of the people that support the channel, man. It's the first lady. She in the house. She said, how about them mother effing Dawgs?
Say it with your chest.
First lady.
How about it?
How about it? Stat guy say congrats on the playoff berth and another SEC championship. I like that another, the key word in that sentence. Let's get it. Dr. Govan in the building said, I said it's great to be a Georgia Bulldog. That's right.
All right.
Great to be a Georgia Bulldog. All right, listen, man. Listen. Couldn't be my team that didn't win the SEC championship. Couldn't be my team.
Well, we
hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
Damn peasants.
You know, hide the money and pour people around.
That's a shame. Getting rough out here.
Hey, boy, feeling good.
Shout out to Tim. We appreciate OU in the building. We appreciate you stopping by. RTH photographer in the building. Why we like this?
Right, Caitlin.
We got the right to be like this. Go Dogs, Caitlin. We got the right to be like this. Hall of Fame college football in the building. Jason, what's going on? Jason, appreciate you getting in, my man. Bro. That's right. Like what? Champions. That's right. Like champions. That's just what we do, man. Listen, I was telling E-Rob backstage, man, we don't have no game to preview for. We sitting back watching everybody else panic and prepare for whoever they gonna play if they made the playoffs. I mean, it could be my team that didn't make the playoffs. I don't know nothing about that. I don't speak that kind of language. So.
Hide the money.
Hide the money,
y'all. What a difference a week makes, boy. I tell you.
Boy, what a difference a week saying.
Last week we were sweating. Boy,
we were sweating bullets. But what I want to give a shout out to my guy, Cool Cal, for standing in my corner. When a lot of Dog Nation didn't even want to play in the SEC championship, me and Cool Cal was standing 10 toes down, like, let us hold our own destiny in our own hands and let the chips fall where they may. And shout 16 came through for us, man.
And Jerry, real talk, look how important it is to get that bye. Based off of what we're going through. You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Come on now. Now.
What's up, Bert?
Listen, what's going on? Derek Perriette in the building. Say, Dawgs, what's up, my guy? R.E., legendary running back at the University of Georgia. What's going on, Rob? We appreciate you getting in, my guy.
Stop running from your boy.
Hall of Fame. I know, right? I know you're a man of few words, but we would love to get you on the show, dog. Your brother being on here, you know what I'm saying? You can't let him out.
Two times.
Don't go out like
Two
this,
times,
Robert.
right.
Don't go out
Let's
like
go,
this.
Robert. They're calling you out.
Don't let him out, do you?
Hey, look, we got it Fred on here. Blame it, Fred. We got Fred on here with us.
Yeah, man. That's supposed to be the hookup right there.
Right. He putting the pressure on you. See, I'm going to put you on the spotlight.
Boys. I can handle the spotlight. That ain't got nothing to do with it. But you know, I tell you, I can't do nothing with Robert Edwards. I can do my best. He got good intentions, so we'll get him on here. Shout out to Washington County. That's where
Hey, we got it. Hey, listen, we got it on live. Name the day and the time.
Name the day and time.
Hey, you see it, don't you? All right.
Hey, December 31st, Robert.
Get him, Rabbit. Don't let him do us like that.
Hey, somebody out there screenshot this, man.
Nah,
December 31st. That's the next show before we play.
Online.
Right. Bama talking about not playing Power 5 teams when all their losses is in the conference. Starting it early. First lady with the strays. Seeing how you do that, I'm glad you did that. That is a great segue into getting petty with Shelby. Let's go ahead and get petty with Shelby. And what we're going to do today, especially SEC championship version, since I missed her petty comment before the Texas game, we're going to play that one. We're going to show that one and the new petty comment. So we're going to get all the way petty with Shelby. The one from before the game.
Clean it up.
Yes, I will plant my flag on your field. I'll plant one at the admissions office, your athletic office, your weight room with a sign that says, get your weight up. Play with me if you want to. Bevo, it's what's for dinner this Saturday. I'm having a nice tomahawk steak. Horns down, sign the first lady.
That tomahawk sound good, boy.
Hey,
the tomahawk series.
Right, she called it and we did it. And then today she says Tuck Texas. That's what she said. You thought you were you thought you was going to come in our house and run something?
Damn.
It's clear that your parents never told y'all to sit down somewhere, so we did. Sit your ass down and speak when spoken to.
Let's go.
Sign the
first lady. And I love it. I endorse that.
Tuck Texas shirt.
That's that heat.
Yeah.
That's that heat right there.
Hide the money, y'all. That's
when it comes to
we got
Pour
to
you
have
a
that
drink
on
up, down. Everybody watching, get you a drink, man. Watch this show with a drink in your hand, please, because we feeling good about ourselves. Ain't no telling how this show gonna go. It might go off the. There you go.
We don't know where it's going, dog. Because listen,
I'm gonna take the line from you,
Coach. No chase on it tonight.
Dogs win, dogs
we not here to
drink.
preview nobody because we waiting on folks. You know what I'm saying? We
up.
waiting on folks. That's just how we up.
Tell
We got
Coach
plenty to
Doug,
talk about, though.
soon, man. Ain't nobody immune to this transfer portal. Our time coming too, Coach.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Listen, transfer portal. The transfer portal giveth and taketh away. We all know that. We prepared y'all for that last week. We've been telling y'all that the transfer portal was gonna hit hard. But hey, man, it hit a lot less hard when you rocking that hardware. You know what I'm saying? When you got rings on the fingers and you got to buy the first round. You know what I'm saying? You can play. We got a little house money to play with, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
because it go both ways.
To jump in there.
It go both ways with that transfer portal. You're gonna lose some, but you can go out. You can get some too. So
get some
it go both ways.
And that's just a message to all college football fans out there. I know it's guys on your team you've been looking forward to. They might have been 4 stars, 5 stars, or just somebody you was looking forward to. Hey, man, it's a business out here, man. These kids got to do what's best for them, or at least what they think is best for them. Just if you trust your coach, then you shouldn't get all up in arms about it. Don't get mad at a kid for trying to go chase his bag, his dream. I see people say, "Oh, he only leaving for the bag." Yes, he's only leaving for the bag.
If somebody
That's why I left my last job for the
bag. Right.
People be in their feelings about
but ain't nobody ever offered them that kind of money.
People be in their feelings, man. It's
no,
serious.
And the thing is, it's legal to do. So if somebody want to pay somebody $12 million,
hey, Coach, I'm glad you said. Let me put something in perspective right here. I'm glad you said that. So I'm gonna put this in perspective. When you're talking about adults, everybody who's an adult, you leave your job to go get a
better job. Exactly.
So what I'm gonna say is this right here: when these kids are leaving school, they ain't getting no $10,000 raise, $20,000 raise. These folks getting $500,000, $2 million raise. You think they ain't gonna change school?
Thank you.
And you'll change your job and move your whole family
for $5,000. Right.
But damn it, I don't care about that. I want my football team to be good.
Right.
I don't care about
that. Kids don't.
I think the lie is it's pros versus collegiate. They're basically professionals. You gotta just look at them as professional athletes. Then you have a better understanding on what they're doing. You're thinking you're dealing with a college kid that's not in a professional setting. No, they're getting real money more than most parents are getting. So yeah, they're gonna make decisions based on bread.
Like this super chat, they real money. Shout out to Nidio. I know you're going. My bad, Coach.
Yeah. Oh, no problem. No, I saw it. I was going. Hey, shout out to Nidio for getting in there. Let me get this super chat up there. Good Tuesday, everyone. Good evening, Coach Shawty. We appreciate you getting in, Nidio, our resident K-State fan. Sorry y'all couldn't make the Big 12 championship, but I know y'all will be regrouping, man. I have no fear that K-State will be back in the thick of things next year, man. They normally right up there in it. So we appreciate you stopping by and giving the super chat. Coach Zoe, what's going on, Coach Zoe? Appreciate you getting in. He said the Porter tearing Bama up right now. Listen, I must say they are hitting them harder than they hitting the Dogs currently. But I'm just gonna say,
our time
numbers wise, we gonna have something in there too. Hey, I do want to give a shout out to Nitro Tuggle, man. Nitro Tuggle wide receiver. He entered the portal, and then he came back. He had a talk. And listen, I'm not gonna act like I'm naive. The money talk was on the table, and Kirby and staff did what they needed to do to retain the talent. That's what we in. Cool. That's what we at today. You know what I'm saying? Right. Cool.
And the thing is though, it shouldn't just be all about money. It definitely the money should be a large component of your decision. But for him, just taking his situation, when you look at what's coming back at the wide receiver position at Georgia, bro, you got Nitro Tuggle has to feel like he can beat all those dudes out. You know what I'm saying? So you have an opportunity to play and make some bread. So that's a smart decision. There may have been bigger bags out on the horizon, the greener pasture somewhere else. But man, you got a chance to play, and we gonna win. I don't know what they're gonna do out there. We gonna win whether you're here or not.
And you brought up a good point, E-Rob. The transfer portal, I know everybody like to think it's just the bag. The bag is the most important part. Yes. Let me be honest with you. Like Shawty said, we leaving for 10, 20, 30,000. These dudes leaving for another million, another 2 million. Right. Sometimes 50,000, 250,000, whatever it is. It's definitely more than we getting. And we'll have to pay all our bills. They still ain't paying.
We packing the whole family up.
Big fact. Big fact.
20 grand, let go. 30
but you
grand.
know, in a situation like a Nitro Tuggle, the people that's playing in front of you or leaving, that does play a part in it, and also the offense. You know what I'm saying? For a wide receiver, the offense, a quarterback, a high-rated quarterback, he's looking at your offense. Yeah, you might be offering him the money that somebody else offered. He's looking at your offense like, hey man, am I going to get my shine? Because whether or not they believe that 3,500 passing yards or more has to be, gotten to get to the league, that's what they want. Do they need 1,000 yards to get to the league? No, but that's what they want. So it's like, they looking at stuff like that.
Nitro, man, in his situation. Well, you about to say something, Cal? Because I know you've been.
No, go ahead.
So I was going to say about Nitro, man, just in his particular situation, you have to look at a kid who was maybe 2-3 positions away from playing this year. All of those kids are going to be gone. And the most important thing is you don't have to reset the playbook. You already very familiar with the playbook. So why leave? I'm sure those are some of the things that, cooler heads always prevail.
Right.
So I'm sure those are some of the things that we were maybe able to talk to him about, bro. You got a lot closer path to playing for a national championship contending team than going somewhere else and resetting the clock.
Yep.
And not for nothing, like I had to tell somebody on the socials earlier yesterday, the Dogs since 2010, basically in the last 15 years or so, the Dogs are like the sixth best team at putting wide receivers in the league. You know what I'm saying? People don't really know that because they say, oh, he won't get 1,000 yards again. Lad McConkey averaged about 450 yards a year. That dude is leading almost all rookies in receiving yards right now.
I think he's second. Yep.
Right behind Brock Bowers.
Great work out there.
You know what I'm saying?
But also coach just like anybody else, man. There's a lot of adults out there that do this also. There's a lot of coaches that do it also. If a kid has some advisement on his side, realistically, putting your name out there quickly in the portal is a position of leverage also,
right?
Especially if that team still wants.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So why not kick your bag up with another $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 if you can do that just by putting your name out there and essentially threatening to leave, but then retracting your name and getting that extra bag inside your bank account. Now you got all the advantages of being where you were with more money behind your name than you had before. I mean, that's just the position we in right now.
And I like that.
Coaches do that too. My bad. Coaches do that too because they'll act like they go interview somewhere, have no intentions of leaving. But if you're a good coach, the school has to take
game
that serious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So. Right. That's what I'm saying. College football now, like especially as a coach, it's a 24/7 recruitment. When you get a kid, it's not the kid gonna be there automatic 3-4 years now. It's every year that we got to keep making sure that, the kid is happy, he in a good place, because that's just the nature of it now. But I think people are butthurt because we still look at these young kids and we want to kind of keep them in their place. Well, if you go there, I want you to stay on my team and I want you to help keep my team good. But we're not looking at the other side from the kid's perspective as well. It's like, well, maybe I got a better opportunity over here. And again, maybe there's more money over here. A lot of people, they family situations, they don't know. They got to start looking out for themselves. And there's nothing wrong with a kid looking out for yourself. And if you're doing the best you can for yourself and your family, man, go get your money.
Big facts. Derek Perry say, do y'all think kids don't want to compete? I don't think it's not necessarily they don't want to compete. Now, and I don't even think like at a position like quarterback where we can only play one. And if I'm number 4, because I'm the true freshman, they still can only play one. I don't think it's that they don't want to compete. But if the guy in front of you is doing a solid job, like game recognized game, he doing a solid job and he only a year ahead of you, you got the common sense to know, unless this dude get hurt, you know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. But I can go to another situation, probably get more money, and then have a chance to start. You know what I'm saying? I think that might be the case in some things, some situations, but I don't think that's the case.
I think I was going to say real quick, overall, I don't know if that's the case, but I think when you see a kid maybe transfer, you're like, man, he transferred 4 or 5 times. That may be situations where a kid maybe doesn't want to compete. He just wants something to be given. But if a kid chooses to transfer, maybe a time or two situation, whatever it is, I can understand that. But some of the kids where we see, man, this kid been in the transport portal 4 years. Every year after the year he gets in the portal.
So I don't want that kid.
Probably is a competition thing.
Yeah. Right. Right. I could see that. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, whether spoiled brat, whatever you want to call it, because he was promised something or he thought he was promised something. He didn't get it. Now he ready to roll up out of there. So it is what it is. Fatty said he won. We appreciate you getting in. Say, yep, lifetime money deal. Lifetime money deal. That's right.
See, and I don't have a problem with what Nitro's doing if you put your name in the portal and get more money to come back, because they're giving you money because you've been there. They see what you can do and they want your talent to stay. These other guys, they want this money for what they did in high school, and that right there. And I get it. If you know what I'm saying, go ahead and get it if they'll give it to you. But I like our philosophy. Well, no, bro, that's what you did in high school. You come here and make plays here at Georgia, and you'll make as much money as any of them dudes over there. But we ain't just gonna give it to you about what you did. Everybody was good in high school.
Big facts, big facts. Roger Sutton getting in. Say all these dogs talking dogs. Love it. We appreciate you getting in, big guy. But I'm with you, E-Rob. I think coming out of high school, I think Shorty said the best. If somebody gonna pay you, then go with them. That's probably like some of them players. That's the highest they gonna be valued in their whole career. You know what I'm saying?
I get that totally.
But if you don't get it, that don't mean you won't get it. You see what I'm saying? If you don't get it straight out of high school, that don't mean you won't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how much was
if you ain't got it by your sophomore year,
then you might not. Then you might not be worth it. Though.
And think about this, man. You know.
Yeah, you might need it exactly. That's why you have to manage your earning potential. You only got 4 years anyway. So if you a junior and writing on the wall, I ain't mad with what Brock did to go to Kentucky. I mean, it was what it was. He wasn't gonna get it from us. I mean, just like in the pros, Marshawn used to hold out for that extra meal every year. You know, that's basically what Nitro just did. You know, you got to figure out what's the new market.
But they're not going. They're not going to pay him if he ain't good. They're not going to pay him if he ain't good. They was like, oh, you want more money?
Can't do that.
He's too good. Exactly. But that's based on what he can do, and they see him. You know what I'm saying? That's
market value.
So it's a double-edged sword, and I hope we don't stay on NIL all night. But it's a double-edged sword. To your point. My NIL based off my numbers.
The most comments
I ain't playing. No, not everybody. No, I ain't mean it like that. See, I was just saying. I just hope that wasn't the topic tonight.
No, that ain't the topic. We free ball tonight, man. We SEC champs, though.
I just want to clear that up. And with that being said, it's a double-edged sword because I can't get my numbers up if I'm not playing. So that's where they come from in the standpoint.
Exactly.
Think about this. If you know better, you're supposed to do better. It done took the NFL all this time just to get it right. They was a pay based off potential league for a very long time. They just now getting it right, and we're trying to take that standpoint. So I do understand. But with that being said, folks, it's a money league. It's gonna be a while for this thing get worked out, guys.
Big facts. B Sheezy, what's going on, man? Appreciate you getting there. Say good evening, fellas. Hey, Hill say, I get wanting to get to the bag, but why would you leave before you get the ring? Can you wait till after Georgia win the Natty? I'll say this, like Arizona State coach came out and said that some of his players came to him and said, you know, they was on good standing. They wanted to hit the portal, but they wanted to play through the playoffs, however far they make it. And he was like, I want you to play through the playoffs. He said, but if you want to have the best choices in the portal, now is the time to get there, because if a team is looking for one wide receiver and you jump in, if you wait till the playoffs over to jump in the portal, why it's been 30 days and a whole bunch of wide receivers been in the portal, they might have wanted you, but they don't. They business requirements say they can't wait on you. So that might be why some of these kids that know they're gonna get in the portal go ahead and jumping in the portal before we have a chance to win a natty or something, because they like my value high right now while the team ain't got what they need. After we win the natty, the team might already have what they need.
Let me ask y'all something. So what is the I guess the time that the portals, is it a all year, just whenever you want to jump in?
No. So a lot of them announce that they're going to get in the portal. That's what they've been doing the past 2-3 weeks. They've been announcing that they're going to enter the portal. They couldn't enter their paperwork until yesterday. yesterday was the first day you could actually enter paperwork to officially get in the portal. But that, I mean, we all know what's going on. That ain't stopping teams from contacting people.
Right.
They contacting people that ain't even announced that they plan on getting in the portal. You know what I'm saying? So
Right,
you got two windows for the official portal. It's the December, and I want to say right after spring game. I want to say it's April 31st.
Yeah, right after spring. Yep.
Right.
So,
I guess because that I mean that to me that causes a lot of confusion and stuff like that. As far as like if we're still in season, that's like saying, okay, well, free agency is opened up, you know, and it's still first round of the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? It needs to obviously be a system
Right.
where it's like open after the season is completed, so where kids don't have to make a decision.
Right.
Oh, well, damn, I stay on the team, make it through the playoffs, or should I put my name in the portal because I want to make sure that I get that, you know what I'm saying, that right opportunity and not lose out on it.
They got to figure that
That
out.
just seems like that's not a fair situation around for everybody, the kids, the schools that's involved, by just opening it now instead of letting the season, you know what I'm saying, complete itself.
Right. I think it's hard for everybody. The team trying to get people out of the portal, the team trying to manage their roster where the people are leaving. Think about all 12 coaches that are in the playoffs currently, including Kirby. They're trying to manage the current roster and prepare for the playoffs and worry about
Hey, you know what?
Yeah, and recruiting season. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey,
you just got
Thad.
all those factors.
So this was. I think it's going to. They're gonna have to do it like the pros, just like you said. Thad. They're gonna have to start cutting a check per game. That's the only thing that's gonna keep kids to the team. Plus, it'll motivate you to not jump in the portal if you know you still got a check coming per game and your team made the playoffs. It's gonna have to have a professional model to it to keep the team's roster established, in my opinion. Because otherwise, you got guys. Ain't no way I would have told that kid not to jump. You know, to go ahead and jump in the portal, knowing we going to the playoffs. I don't care about your chances, bro. I need you on my roster. You know, but I got to have an incentive for it. But I'm just saying, realistically, I wouldn't have said that as a coach. I'm like, I don't know what the hell. Arizona State, man, there's some good guys out there. You know, my boy out there, shout out the highest coaching and receivers. I wouldn't have done that though. I wouldn't have. No, I ain't in your best interest. I'm trying to win.
Right.
I got a job to do.
That's right. Both parties, listen, you got to do what's best for you, but I also got to do what's best for the team, because doing what's best for the team is helping my job. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, but the portal givers, the portal take it away. We here, the Dawgs as champions. We beat the Texas Longhorns for a second time, JV, in overtime. It did not take us 8 overtimes. We beat them in the first overtime. Give me your thoughts on the game overall, man.
Man, listen, I done watched this game 4 times, man. Literally, I can't get enough of watching this game. This game probably is playing right now. What you hate?
I'm watching
it on silent. So we watch it on Fadcast. We going from the end zone view. Hey, listen, man. I think that game was a microcosm of our season. It wasn't pretty. Offense didn't look great. Defense had guys. Y'all realize we got 13 sacks on these guys in 2 games. You know how astronomical that is.
And they ain't got but 28 for the season. We got 13 of
them. 13 sacks. So defense came to play. 13 sacks on the supposedly best offensive line, one of the best offensive lines in the country, one of the greatest offensive schemes of 2024. We got 13 sacks on. I was extremely impressed with just the way that we handled ourselves, man. You know, even through the adversity, I just seen guys continuously making plays. 1, I seen guys continuously picking people and their teammates up. 2, and I seen guys believing in their connection and in the strength of their team. 3, and we went out there and proved that not only can we beat the team that people keep on saying is the best team in the country, but we can beat them with a one-arm quarterback and a quarterback that ain't played at all in 2 years. So, man, shout out to the Dogs. Man, shout out to Dog Nation and the fans. Man, shout out to that defense, because they were all over them boys. And shout out to Gunnar Stockton, man, for allowing his spirit to leave his body and to come back like it did.
hey, he didn't allow that, folks.
That got knocked out of him.
Hey, shout out to B Miller, man, for getting in, man. We appreciate you getting in, man. Hey, if you watching on YouTube or you watching on Facebook, hit that thumbs up for us, man. It helps the content, helps get out to more Dog fans so they can chime in. Del Rico in the building. What's going on, Del Rico? Say if you always in the portal, it's probably you not the school. That is correct. Because there's no shot at the young man, but he got to figure out his life strategy. But Mr. Eric Gilbert is in the portal again after leaving LSU. Eric, former 5-star Eric Gilbert, who went to LSU.
I didn't know he was still playing.
Came to the Dawgs.
I'm gonna just leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Right. He heard you already earlier, Cam.
I got so many things I can say. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yeah, let's spend no time on that.
Okay, I had questions, boy.
No, go ahead.
No,
I need to say that to the back room.
Yeah, let's not talk.
I feel like I don't want it.
Right. Prime time dog in the building. What's going on? Robert says, "Prove your worth." That's right. You got to prove your worth.
Damn right.
At times like that. Let's see.
And just a quick shot, Coach.
Del
Rico would say something like that because he's an Alabama fan. And he having that exodus of players, so he would say something like that. The comment that he made.
Right. But listen, but not for nothing, I do agree. If you always in the portal, it probably you, dog. It ain't the school, dog. Like, come on, dog.
That's just our home, but I'm taking a shot at him.
Yeah, I know.
He deserves it. Throw another shot at it.
Ain't catching strays.
Prime time say, what's good, fellas? I see they approved a $2.2 billion payout for the ex-college athletes. Wish we met the 2017 cutoff date. Listen, I ain't playing college, but my nephew did, and he stopped in 2016. And I was like, hey, man, you missed the date by one. I was like, goddamn. Like,
I think that equals out to like, I think everybody gets like a $250, $300 check, something like that.
That's how it be. It's a lot of athletes.
I'm good on that.
So it is. So Roger say, T-Rob, appreciate you posting.
Run me my money.
Page. I own Georgia. Oh, so Roger Sutton owns Georgia Sports Autographs. So if y'all get a chance, go check it out.
E-Rob. It ain't T-Rob. E-Rob, dog.
Oh, he said T-Rob.
No, I'm talking to him. I know you know, Coach. I'm talking to him, Roger. Appreciate it.
All right, maybe it's the T-Rob.
I was thinking, I was like, who the hell is T-Rob? I was thinking, like,
that had me about as messed up as when Legend came on here and called Calvin or whatever.
Hello, Calvin.
He went government on me. That was hard.
Oh man.
But Roger know about that money though. So he dealing with these kids in the NIL with the signatures and all that autographs. So
right.
Hey man, I wish they had it when I was playing, man. Let me get that money, man. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Say, hopefully we can get a couple of good pass catcher wide receiver. Not sure we are going to need it because we will probably be more of an option team with Gunner. I will say this. I personally think getting Nitro, to come back was good. And I like our 5 wide receivers we got in the on signing day as well. But I'm pretty sure Kirby got a plan for that as well. So
not sure there's the plan, but
right, but for another show. All right.
Cool
Cal. Thoughts on the Dawgs defense, man. We was kind of talking backstage a little bit with me and E-Rob. Was like, we let them kind of move the ball between the 30s, but then we kind of hunker down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That especially that first half, man. It was. I'll say this, man. That first half, there was some opportunities where it looked like the game could have got away from us a little bit. Thankfully, like we said, we kept them 20-20. The defense stood up. There was some times the Texas kicker, he didn't quite, put it through the uprights, which is another thing. They didn't, we stopped them from finishing drives. So all of those things obviously kept us in the game, for a 6-3 halftime game, made it manageable, especially the way things worked out, because we needed for it to be manageable in the second half for Gunner when he got in there, because if it was a situation, if we were down 14-3, 17-3, I don't know if we had the firepower to get back in the game. So thankfully, the defense stood up. They were stingy, once they got close around the end zone, but it was a little nerve-wracking, when the guys, it just seemed like, damn, how many yards we going to give up? I know Golden and the other receiver, just was continuously, killing us, and especially the first half. I mean, that was crazy. But again, the Dawgs stood up. It's about the the score on the scoreboard. They did a good job making sure that they stayed out the end zone. Like I said, it kept us in the game and gave us an opportunity in that second half. So it was gritty, you know, and that's what it's been all year long. It's been a gritty effort, you know.
Yeah.
In all three phases. The coaching was gritty. I'm really proud of the coaching staff, man. I'm gonna give them a lot of kudos for keeping that game managed in a way to where we could keep it close, man, and then just figure it out at the end, man. So I think that's gonna be the formula for us going forward. You know, the game's gonna be a little lower scoring. Got to keep it around 20, 17, 24, 21, somewhere in there, and win ball games that way. And that's what it is.
Right, man. I totally agree. Shout out to Dana B for getting in. She say defense stepped up for sure. Defense stepped up, and it's like CA, like just like what Cool Cow said, man. They was able to bow those backs, man, in the red zone. It's like at times in the first half, I ain't gonna lie, it's like in the 30s, they was just like moving the ball so easy. I'm like, oh, like at some point we're gonna give up some points, man. But I mean, Kirby and Muschamp was on the sideline. So
I saw him. Yeah. Yep.
I did see that. Yeah, that bend don't break defense showed up for us. It was, you know, shout out to Dalen Everett. That's one of my, you know, guys I wanted to make sure to mention because he did continue to find ways to make plays for us again against Texas, you know. So whatever it takes on defense to keep him out of the end zone seems to, you know, that seems to be the theme. You know, we got guys that have very timely opportunities to make plays. I think what shows up for me on defense is even though we don't have the continuity, the players are very talented. So when there is the opportunity for a play to be made, we've got guys that understand the scheme and are talented enough to make plays. I think that showed up against Texas because they're a talented team. I think they just, you know, stage too big, lights too bright, and we've been there before a couple of times here recently. So I was impressed with the defense. I was impressed with the calls and the tempo, especially when you look at how we have to offset, you know, what we're doing on the offensive side, lack of scoring, injuries hitting us, making sure we stay in the game using field position. So I'm extremely proud. I'm going to echo what Cal said. I'm extremely proud of both coaching, offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator because I think they did a good job keeping the players in the game, keeping them engaged, yet being aggressive enough when we had to try to find ways to create plays.
Right. I'm definitely with that, man. The coaching staff done a great job. Shout out to Kirby for being one of the finalists for Coach of the Year award. I think this is probably his best coaching job considering, you know, the injuries and the talent and just keep the schedule. The schedule has been and side note, no, I don't have any empathy for Oregon getting a harder path than the Dogs. Just in case the viewers was wondering, because we had to do it during the season. Shout out to Primetime Dog for the $9.99 super chat. Say, do you think Bobo should have run the ball on 3rd and 13 in field goal range when Gunner threw the pick? Personally, I'll let the other fellas answer for them. Yes, I do think he should have ran the ball. Given how the game was going, there only had been 2 touchdowns between the two teams. It was a 16-13 game. We kicked the field. I feel like we run the ball there, kicked the field goal. We got a 6-point lead. Texas hasn't shown that they could get in our end zone outside of that one play. I mean, listen, he made more money than I do to call those plays. But yes, if it's me, I'm running the ball on 3rd and 13 right there because we was already in our kicker's field goal range. Shawty, thoughts on the play call on 3rd and 13 when Gunner threw the pick? And by the way, people, Gunner was trying to throw the ball out of bounds. It was just
He was.
Yeah,
okay.
he was.
Okay.
He was trying to throw it away.
Yeah, but it was like
he
was on the opposite hash, so it was a really long.
It was a long throw. Yeah,
he was getting hit too. He was getting hit.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Thank y'all.
So, I mean, and with that being said, that really pretty much answered the question, because that's all I was going to add to it. In my opinion, for sure, I would have ran with the way the game was going, with the quarterback I have in, it's 3rd and long. I would have rather hand the ball off and maybe try to line the ball up in the middle of the field to give my field goal kicker a better shot to go about 6 points and continue to do what we had been doing all game, which is playing defense, being not breaking. So pretty much what you said, just to answer that question. He was trying to throw the ball away. That's why he was so mad, because he was trying to throw it away. He just couldn't get it far enough out of bounds to go out. One thing I will say too, and I think I mentioned this a few weeks ago, Coach just said it, even if there was not a playoffs, but the way this season went, the way our roster was set up with injuries and everything, this is arguably Kirby Smart's best coaching job I think he has done.
Right. Right. And if it wasn't for teams like Vandy, you know, Colorado, even SMU, teams that don't normally show that acumen to be playoff teams or good teams in their conference making big jumps from the year before, I think Kirby would probably have it in the bag, to be honest with you. I mean, Urban Meyer said that after the Alabama game, actually, to get mentally, get your team to come back from 28 down in the first quarter. He's like, this is probably the coaching job of the year. He said that weekend.
But I think this was the 6th game of the year that we had been down at halftime.
Right. And only lost 2 of those. CA, do you have any different thoughts on the 3rd and 13 call? I think, again, we have to take, you know, the situation in hand. I'm not saying I'm always against throwing it in that situation, but score, game, how the game's going. That's why I said that. But CA, you might have a different take.
Not necessarily. I mean, I think most of us would probably run the ball because none of us are at practice enough to feel that strongly about Gunner's performance. Let's just be frank. I think Mike is the only one in that position. He should know what he's got in that quarterback. So if he wanted to take the shot and felt like he had the right play drawn up and the defense was giving him the look that they wanted, you're right. He is getting paid a lot of money to make that decision, and it's going to fall on his neck if it doesn't fall well. So, yeah, I would prefer we run the ball, especially when you look at what happened and how the play turned out. So it's 20/20 hindsight, but I'm not all the way upset because we had a lot that we had to gauge in that game. And I think, you know, if we look at the total body of work, I was really pleased with the overall play calling when you look at a backup quarterback trying to lead you to an SEC championship.
Facts. Robert gets in and says the QB might have checked to a pass because of the defensive look. Defensive look. Just watching the game, I see the quarterback making checks. That's one thing you do have to do at Georgia.
Run into the 9-man front. I don't give a damn. Run into the 9-man front.
That's one thing I will say. Right. I respect both opinions, and I can see that. I am of the thought process of Shawty, like at that point because of our field goal kicker. Now, if we had somebody else's field goal kicker, maybe not. But because of our field goal kicker, there was a 47-yarder at the time. I'm like, hey, if it's a 9-man box, just run into it, get a kick a field goal.
And think about this. It's never always about numbers, but just think about this. This is why that call is so important. The kid completed 12 passes for 71 yards. You want him to get 13 and 1?
Analytics, right. And that's the analytics, right? You know what I'm saying? So, but to CA's point, you know, Mike definitely feels more confident in Gunner than I personally do in that situation. So that's probably why he called that. If he checked into it, it had to be a part of the package that Mike sent to him in the in the headset. So I just personally again would have ran the ball, but you know, I get it. So let's see. B Miller says, with the hype surrounding Trey Scott, will Georgia step up and pay him more, or will he be at another school soon? We can't afford for him to leave. He's the best D-line coach UGA's had. That is a good question, B Miller. No.
We can afford for him to leave.
No, they're gonna pay him.
I know they're gonna pay him, but hey, it is what it is. The pipeline.
Yeah, it's a cap on everything. You know what I'm saying?
I think so. I think it is a cap on everything, Shawty. I think we will try to pay him. I think it all boils down to if Trey Scott has aspirations of being a head coach.
Right.
If he has aspirations of being a head
coach,
the
job he won't, he gonna go.
Yeah. Then the only thing he's gonna leave for is a DC job at a major school or a head coaching job or something. And I don't know. Maybe he got those aspirations. Maybe he one of the few coaches he's like, look, dog, I'm winning. I got good salary. I'm one of the highest paid D lineman coaches in the nation. I'm good. I mean, I think some people are like that, but you never know. I don't want to lose him either.
From Kirby Smart. So if you buy your time and wait to the right time, bro, it's gonna work out, bro. Real talk.
Right.
Well, this you just want to gamble on yourself, which ain't nothing wrong with that either.
But they're gonna pay you at Georgia, man. You should just wait for that right opportunity. They're gonna keep paying you. They do it every year. They're gonna he will get an increase. I'm telling
you. He just like the kids. He trying to jump in the portal too.
He should. Get that money, man.
Get money.
Or he might just be trying to pull a nitro and get a raise. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that wrong with that? Ain't that wrong with that?
That position money is way different than that coordinator.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
But look, real talk, if you look at Georgia history, that's one thing about Kirby now. We get them bonuses when we do big things like we doing this year.
Absolutely.
They get them bonuses. They come back with a 10, 15, 20% increase in salary the next year.
Yep.
They do. They do. And speaking of bonuses, shout out to Kirby, man. $250,000
You saw that?
For winning the SEC championship. Hey, man, we SEC champions.
You see what he's saying?
The money, y'all. There's poor people around.
Hey, shout out to Kirby. Shout out to Kirby for running that damn fake punt. Having the stones to call that fake punt.
Come on,
bring that up. Talk about it, man. Talk about it.
Boy,
bring that up.
we cannot go this whole show and not bring that up because I'm sitting there and I can feel the momentum changing. I'm like, boy, you know, we got Gunner on. Boom, that damn fake punt hit like, oh, that's their ass. I'm sorry for the kids out there. I was like, that's their ass right there. Great call because I didn't see that coming. That came out of nowhere.
I mean, even the design was
Nick Saban-ish.
Yeah,
it felt very.
First of all, no. Real quick, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cal. I don't want to step over you.
It felt what?
It's just like you said, man. It was a great call at the right time. Nobody was expecting it. That's all I was gonna say, man. It just was like one of those, man, when you done been there and done it before and got that feel and know when to hit them at the right time.
That was perfect.
That's what he did with perfect timing.
Fella, man, shout out to Mama. Shout out to Bobo's son.
For getting in.
Right, that's what I was saying. The design of the call, that's what I was getting.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The design of the call to actually let a lineman flip the ball to somebody.
The lineman took a shotgun.
Right, Bobo, if you watching this, your son got a better pass percentage than you do, man. You can't even talk on it, dog.
100%.
But and with the design of that play, even if Stone Hands Arian Smith dropped that ball, it's still an incomplete pass. It's not a fumble because it's a fumble.
Shout out to Arian Smith for completing the first down. Hey,
J-Day, calm down in the comments. Calm down in the comments, J-Day. Calm down, J-Day. Calm down, J-Day.
J-Day, appreciate you getting in. Won't be long. It's a new SEC.
Won't be long.
Well, from this side of the table, it looked like it always looks.
Oh yeah, what you mean?
It's a new SEC.
What you talking about, bro?
Hey, it's no teams.
SEC. It's called Legacy, baby. It's Legacy, baby. Hide the money.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
That's
right. M&A Pitts in the building.
All right.
We got a lot of new people in the comments tonight, man.
Yeah, peasants out of here.
Shout out to all the new people in the comments.
Hey, what's up, M&A Pitts? He said, I don't think enough has been said about ET in this game. He should have been the MVP. Listen, dude came back normally, and I think it might have been shout out to Brooks Austin over there at the Film Guy Network. He said normally, like with Georgia injured players, they come back in a game and they're dressed, but they don't play, and then they play the next game. ETN hadn't dressed since the Florida game at all. Hadn't been on the sidelines in nothing but a t-shirt or a jersey or whatever, but no pads. Dude came in and gave us his heart, and he took it all from Texas. So shout out to ETN for sure, man.
It meant something to him, coach.
Yeah, hey, he played like it meant something to him, JV.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, listen, you could check, man. Listen, man, definitely shout out to ETN because you could even hear in his interview, man, how authentic it was for him, man. And even coach, when he was talking about ETN standing up in front of the team, telling these guys he had never played in a game like this before, how much this meant to him, how he wanted to win this game. And, you know, a lot of the fans and even some of us were like, man, you know, we shouldn't even really want to play in this game. This guy said he wants to play. He put on a flak jacket. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, I don't know how many of you guys have ever played with any type of injury to your rib.
You got to be tough.
I fractured a rib back in the day. And I'm going to tell you what, I ain't do too much movement until it completely healed. I ain't give a damn what they were talking about. It was uncomfortable. It was painful.
Right.
For this guy to go out there and do what he was doing as a running back, man,
Take them
complete
shots he was
shout out to
taking.
him.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Salute.
I
Absolutely.
can't run with you on
Salute.
the MVP because the guy who showed out got the MVP. Shout out to Dalen Erica. We done gave him hell over these past 2 years.
Some
Facts,
about
facts,
Texas,
facts.
man. Some about
Something
Texas.
about
He just he
Texas. He
rise
love
up
that.
against Texas.
He see them. He see them
They
horns
go,
on
they
that
go at
helmet.
him, folks. They throwing the ball at him. They go
Yeah.
at him.
He
Yeah.
take it as a sign of disrespect. So
Our front
definitely,
seven eat too.
definitely shout out to
Eat.
Ethan. Shout out to
13,
that front
D-Rob.
seven, man. Shout out to that front seven being unblockable in both of those games, man. I think Shawty said it earlier. It might be Cool Cal, somebody, or JV. JV said it. We had 13 sacks in 2 games against Texas.
That's crazy.
Like
That's crazy.
I don't know how many we got on the season, but I'm willing to bet that might be half of them.
I bet that's half of them.
That would hurt the
You
most.
know how ridiculous that is? Do
That
you
is
guys
crazy,
really
dog.
realize how ridiculous it is to have 13, not just 13 sacks against a squad, but against a squad that's as highly favored and respected in the country as the Texas offense is?
Definitely.
They literally give us no chance against Sarkisian's offense every single game, which has been 2.
Hey,
Man,
I
we've
ain't gonna lie,
showed
man.
our
Sark,
asses.
Sark is hell on as an OC man. I got
Dog,
give him
listen
credit,
here,
bro.
man.
Sarkisian
That dude
hell
can
on
call
offense.
plays, dog. He can call some plays, boy.
But see, here's my thing though. So you'll tell me that he's an offensive genius, but they scored what 18, 19 points against us, and then they'll tell me that Bobo's the worst thing ever, and we scored more points than them. So where the genius at? They got a great defense too. Why come we can score more points than them?
I mean, that's apples and oranges, but
yeah,
I ain't gonna go down. I ain't gonna go down that rabbit hole. We'll talk about that.
But their offense, their total offense is not. Their stats aren't just better than ours in a down year for Georgia.
It ain't about for
So,
so
you're saying
many
Bobo's good
dynamics.
of a coordinate, good of an offensive caller?
I'm saying the numbers are comparable.
I don't know.
They got better.
I agree with you.
That's the facts.
I feel what you're saying.
So it sound like
That's a whole.
It ain't about whether you agree or not. Those are the facts.
I saw his schedule.
It is about whether I agree because you asked
That's the
question.
facts, though.
I don't agree.
No, I'm saying the numbers are
Bobo's not
comparable.
on the level
Shit,
as
we
Sark
off
as
the
far as
rails.
play call.
There you go.
That's why I say I wasn't gonna try to get
JV, we
No, man.
head off the road.
E-Roy, you talking about 2 totally different teams,
Come
2
on,
totally
man.
different mind, everything.
No, he got more talent on offense. You're
I
right.
agree with
I'm
E-Rob.
talking about two different. You're right. They got better receivers than we got. Comparable quarterback. Why they can't put up points in big games? All season they haven't scored points.
Because
hey, E-Rob, I'm gonna give you
Kirby's
one answer.
genius,
I'm gonna
and
give you
he's
one
the
answer,
best.
E-Rob.
Kirby's the
I'm gonna
best.
give you one answer because them dogs hell.
There we go.
I take
Because
that.
them
Come
dogs
on,
hell.
man.
I take
Right, I
that.
like
Dogs
it. I
hell,
like it.
man.
I like it.
What about the
All right,
game
Robert.
before this?
Roger said Dalen has been catching so much hell, and man, if you
I
watch,
agree with
he
E-Rob.
stays
Yeah,
he
man.
stays in the receiver's pocket always. Only problem I ever seen from him was locating the ball. I could get listen, man. We keep it real
That's
here on
major, though.
Respect the Hedges, and
That's hard.
Locating the ball is key, but whatever.
that's key, right?
It's
That
hard,
is a
bro.
major part of it. But hey, shout out to him for coming to play against the Burn Orange when it counted. That's what you want your playmakers to do. You know what I'm saying? Like come to play when it's all on the line. Hey man, if
But
you give
also,
up some, go ahead, JB.
No, I'm gonna say also, coach. But if you look at our D line and our front seven play in these 2 games, it allows for him to be able to make some plays like that. Because when we don't get pressure up front, it's really hard for any DB to stay in phase with any reputable receivers out there. So they just show you how important it is for our D line to perform when the lights are bright, and when our D line doesn't perform, you can see the deficiency in our back end.
Right.
Yes, they need to stay in phase and do those things, but that D line pressure allows for any DB across the country, I don't care who you are, to be able to be a more adequate DB in the moment.
Right. All right, we're gonna go around. I'm gonna start with you, Shawty. Who else? I mean, we talked about Dalen Everett, man. We talked about ETN. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to for having a big game, key moment, or anything this past Saturday?
I'm gonna give a shout out to the young kid, the safety number 4, man. I thought he played a hell of a game.
He balled out.
That tackle on third down.
Yeah, man. You know, that's one thing that I have seen in the past few weeks, man. You know, I think it could be E-Rob. A lot of the guys said early in the year, like, we were not tackling well in the open field.
Yep.
And for some reason, when we played Texas these last 2 times, man, like we was tackling machines. We were able to tackle people out in space. And that's a problem that we've had in the games that we were lost. We had linebackers and safeties in space. I think I made a joke about y'all guy the other week on the touchdown play. He was tackling grass. Number 17, the safety.
Dirty Dan. Yeah.
He was tackling grass on the touchdown play. But other than that, man, the safeties, is particularly number 4, man, played very well in the open field, man, and we tackled very well. So shout out to number 4 for just being, you know, how can I say, execute on defense and making tackle.
Right. KJ Bolden, in my estimation, I personally, and of course, I haven't watched all 22 on every single game, but I haven't seen him miss a tackle or a whole bunch of tackles this year. You know what I'm saying? That was a one-on-one shot in the overtime when he got that tackle. So shout out to KJ Bolden, man. E-Rob, who you got, man? Who you want to give a shout out to?
Man, I'm watching the game. I just saw Brett Thorson mess his knee up. I didn't even know he got hurt, man.
He's out. Like he's out. Like he's not gonna play in any of the playoffs.
They thought it was ACL at one point, right?
Right. He's out.
Oh, really?
He's out.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, wow, that threw me off. Man, big shout out to Gunnar Stockton, man, for coming in and not just giving up the ship, man, for going, like JV said, for giving up his soul for the team, man. The kid did what he needed to do to win the game, man. Hadn't played all year. You're coming in cold in a big spot. The whole world's watching, man. It's way harder than it looks, man. He did a great job of kind of keeping himself composed. The man, great third down conversion, throwing that ball to Arian. Arian can't catch the ball early in the game, but then late in the game, we need him. He somehow find a way to catch that thing every time. So I got, shout out to him for that. And just making the winning plays that it took to win the game, man. Shout out to him. So I'm gonna get that to Gunner.
Bad. Primetime Dawgs. I want to give a shout out to number 10 Wilson. That's our DN and our edge player. And number 94 Xavier McLeod on defense. Xavier McLeod did come to play. I want to say, if I had to gander, this was his best game all year, man. That dude was in that backfield. Yeah. Also, Warren Brinson had a great game. Warren Brinson earned like this, man. He loved playing against Texas too, dog. He was out there like Jalen Carter-esque. You know what I'm saying? So, Cool Cal, who you got, man? Who you want to give a shout out to?
Again, I'm gonna go with he brought up some great people. I'm gonna throw Michael Williams in there as well. I thought did a great job being able to set the edge, got a couple sacks in the game, and I thought that he provided some consistent pressure that we needed all game as well, just making sure that extra bodies were on him. He was taking on extra guys and just continuing to fight through it, man, and opening up some plays for some other guys. So I want to give a big shout out, man, to the whole front. I thought that they did a really good job of just, making sure that obviously Texas's running game is important and it never was able to take off against us as well. I think that's an underrated element too. In the 2 games that we played, we've completely shut down their running game.
Both times, you know what I'm saying? Both times, I think total rush yards between the 2 games was 60. That was the total, not in each, but for
Georgia
total.
Football. Right. That's Georgia football right there.
That's Georgia football. CA, who you want to give a shout out to, my guy?
I think I already spoke about Dalen a little bit. Oscar Depp and Lawson Lucky. I'm gonna talk about JV's man. They've been looking good lately, man. So productive, great playmakers, versatility. Just shout out to the room for picking up some of that weight that the receiver.
That catch Lawson made.
Right, the catch that Lawson made.
Keep it moving, coach.
Oh my God.
Keep it moving, coach. Feel my thunder, you funky mother suckers.
Let's start the back. JV, we want to give a shout out. Hey,
stand y'all asses. I'm gonna cook over here. I can't stand y'all. Coach, you gotta come to me before
it almost made it around the room, Jay. I couldn't let it. I said, let me do what I'm gonna do.
That's why I hate to go behind CA, man. He always steal a motherfucking
You suck up all the oxygen. You just like a forest fire.
I'm waiting to see who next. Let me get it.
Now come off the dome with something, JV. Who you got?
There you go. Hey man. Hey, listen, I'm gonna have to touch on a couple of people that y'all already touched on, man. I'm gonna touch on this guy, Arian Smith, man, because we give him super hell. Just because of all the drops that he had, and shout out to Captain.
He got a
Wafer.
new nickname.
Yeah, super hell. Captain Wafer, man, for shouting out this. I saw it in the comments, but man, Arian Smith, bro, for all the drops that he has, he continues to play the whole game like his life depends on it. And it was a lot of plays in this game that had to be made by a lot of folks. But he continued to do the little things. You know, he continues to be a great gunner. He, hustles on offense, and he does show up in a pivotal time when that time demands it, like that catch from Gunnar Stockton to be able to convert, and I think that was a third down. So shout out to Arian Smith, man. And I saw him one time, he dropped that ball to one that beat him up. Even Hurd Street was beating him up, called him an unnatural receiver, asked him why he jumped.
It was a dig route by the goal line.
Yeah, it was a dig route. And you saw him, he got out the field like he was going to cry in the car. But his teammate grabbed him, gave him a quick shake, and he came back in the game, man. He continued to play. So shout out to that young man, because that ain't easy, man. When you are in a rut and in a funk like he's been in for I'm gonna say 2 seasons. But when you are in that kind of a rut, it is hard to keep your confidence and go out there and play. So shout out to your man for continuing to fight through it, regardless of how unnatural a receiver he is. He's a damn good dog. Secondly, let me go ahead and just shout out the tight end room. You funky folks who like to steal my thunder and shout out at my room. I'm coming to them. But real talk, again, it's so many plays in this game that determine the outcome of this game. And Lawson Lucky, that catch you made, sir, the toe touch, I'm telling you, that was Biletnikoff-esque. And also, shout out to you for recognizing that if you had not made that tackle on that interception,
man,
that was
great call,
that was a clear path to the end zone, baby, because it was not another person on that side of the field. Shout out. And one more, coach. One more. Man, shout out to the D coordinator, Schumann, man. Because and also Muschamp being on that sideline, I felt like when I saw Muschamp and them red lights and him strap that helmet on, I'm sorry, strap them headphones on, but I felt like he put a helmet on. That defense always looks different when Muschamp is on the sideline and when he's connected to our football team. So Kirby, take note. We need to raise this man's per diem money and get his son on scholarship over at UGA so he ain't got to go nowhere on Saturdays, because we are a different team with him on our sideline.
Facts, I've been saying that too. First lady said we got some NIL money.
We got it.
First lady said, shout out Nate Frazier. What an amazing freshman year for him. He's been solid, more solid than a normal freshman is. So definitely shout out Nate Frazier. Robert Evans say 45 for Texas. Burt Auburn is the one for him. Shout out to the kicker for missing 2.
I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that.
I'll allow that. Good
right, but I definitely agree with what you said, JV, and like E-Rob said, like, man, the dude might Aaron might miss some passes all game, but it seemed like when we needed on third and whatever in the fourth quarter, for some reason the hands show up with him, and he or at least the stomach, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't say all that now.
But he actually
got to be the best practice player in the nation.
He has to be a great practice player. He has to be.
He got to be torturing us every day. But I'm going to shout out CA guy, Chaz Chambliss, man, Mr. Unblockable against Texas. Like, he's causing all kind of havoc up front that allows these DBs to play real tight and, cover these guys, man. It seemed like whether he was getting a sack or getting the pressure or not, just getting in the backfield. Or blocking. Listen, waiting all year so he can play fullback. He's like, come on, coach, call the play.
I don't know if y'all know the play.
Just underrated.
Chad
That's your guy. That's your
round grade going in the 4th.
He lays a hat in there at that fullback, dog. He don't care. He don't care who it is.
He look natural.
Right. And listen, and my second one is gonna be listen, man. Shout out to Mr. Bo Gardner Bo Gardner is our long snapper, first team All SEC. Shout out to him for never giving an errant
I've
snapper.
never heard that name, Coach.
Right.
Great
When
call.
you know his name, that's how you know he's perfect. That's awesome.
Right.
Great
That's
call,
right.
Coach.
Shout out to Bo, man, for never giving us bad snaps, man, and getting our punter, allowing our punter to catch it and get a clean kickoff, man. First, listen, he had to be doing something right. He first team All SEC. So shout out to Bo Gardner, man. I know you don't get a lot of love in the public, but we want to show you some love here on Respect the Hedges.
Respect
man.
these
so,
hedges.
Right.
All right.
Hey, CA, before we go on, CA, Coach Zoe, that's your boy?
Uh-oh.
He taking the shit.
Area.
Oh, am I glitching or something?
No, he said Arian reminds me of CA. He gonna drop one or two passes, but definitely will come through in the clip.
Dang. Call him out, Coach.
Shelby.
Call him.
Take
Get the
care of
word.
Shelby.
Hey, first lady, first moderator.
Get him, Shelby.
That's over with. He Jay got himself.
Don't come back next week.
He had time out, CA.
Hey,
I got to go.
next week is gonna get ugly.
I'm through with it. I'm through. Wash my hands of that.
Right.
Oh my God. Man. Shawty, did I ask you who you want to give a shout out to, my guy?
In terms of player wise?
Yeah, player, coaches, whoever.
I thought I did. I said KJ.
You did.
Yeah,
you start this thing off. You start this thing off. I just want to make sure
really
I get somebody. Listen, man.
Coke been drinking. What you drinking, Coke?
Hey, some of that Ciroc. No Diddy.
What you say, Coach?
Hey, that's actually all the way.
I actually think there is some Diddy in that, so you gotta watch it. Watch it.
All right, we're going off the rail.
No Vaseline.
Listen, man. We are 2024 SEC champs.
Right.
Listen, we in the after hours now, dog. We can talk about whatever. Look at Veronica. We appreciate you getting in. I meant to shout you out earlier. Hey, listen, we try to keep y'all entertained while giving y'all some knowledge on the Dogs. Shawty, take it away.
And I was just gonna say, with that being said, real talk, man. I see a lot of new names in the comments, man. So shout out to everybody who just now joining us. If you're new to our show, man, continue to come and support, man. Appreciate it. Shout out to everybody in the comments.
Thanks.
Right. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We here every Tuesday night at 8:00 talking Dogs against the SEC, Dogs against the NCAA, Dogs against the world. You know what I'm saying? But we respect other fan bases as well. You know what I'm saying? As long as you can take it, we can take it. If you can dish it, we can dish it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but we keep it a buck around here. So you will see us get on some Dogs. Captain Wafer, I appreciate you getting in. I appreciate some of these new names, like Shawty say, getting in on Facebook and YouTube, man. Hit the like button for us. That way, for those that didn't get to come and enjoy the show live, they'll get it after the show has ended, man. They can still watch it and enjoy the Dogs. Prime time. Missed this one. He said them boys love eating that Texas steer meat.
That sounds pretty Diddy-ish right there. I don't know about that one, homie. We ain't gonna cop to that one. We gonna respectfully. No, actually, disrespectfully, we gonna deny.
Shout out to Mark and Elmo, another damn good dog. Shout out to Mark and Elmo, man.
Appreciate you getting in, my guy. Appreciate you getting in.
Go Dogs.
Valencia Wiley is in the building. Fun time. Go Dogs. SEC champs. That's right. That's right. We champs, dog. Again, and for the teams or the media, national media pundits saying this game don't mean nothing, y'all better take a trip to Athens, Georgia, man. The SEC championship always means something. And Kirby was letting y'all know that before the game, after the game, and obviously during the game because he did what he had to do, man. So shout out to the Dogs for getting the championship, man. Shout out to Valencia. We appreciate you getting in.
Hey, real quick, coach.
What?
Want to drop some flowers on somebody, man. Somebody who we all respect. And we've said this thing a few times throughout the year and over the 4 years we've been doing this. But, man, shout out to Coach I for continuing to produce and pull these these guys together who realistically we don't operate well within barriers.
No, come outside the line for sure.
But no, coach, serious business, man. Listen, this is our 4th year, man, and shout out to you, coach, because this thing started out with an idea and just the hopes that it can be something that's sustainable. I think we've created something and we continue to move forward, and you are the pilot to this here plane, and we're gonna fly this motherfucker through the clouds, baby. Let's keep going with it.
Let's go.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Y'all guys make it easy, man. You know what I'm saying? Right. I appreciate it, man. Hey, man, y'all guys make it easy, man. I always love talking Dogs. And just to get the opportunity to talk with some Dogs that actually did it on the gridiron, you know what I'm saying? While we was in school and put that work in, man. Hey, listen, I look forward to it, to be honest. Sometimes I be tired, and I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I be like, man, I don't know if we're gonna do no show tonight, dog. But we end up coming on, and then once it gets started, I don't know. I'm kind of like the Dogs, so second half, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's real talk.
It's just
belly full. Look at
let me ask you guys a question before we get out of here. And we've talked about this throughout the year. Once again, that's why I think Kirby Smart deserves, the whole coaching staff, but Kirby is the head of the ship. So I use his name. But that's why I think this is Kirby's best coaching job that I can think of probably in the past 7 or 8 years. Because the way that we perform after halftime, I have never seen anything like this in a long time in college football. Like it's like we heads and tails, 2 different teams, night and day, whatever you want to call it, whatever metaphor you want to use. Why do you think that's the case? Is it a roster thing? Is it a strategic thing? Or that's just the way the team is built?
For me personally, it could be a little bit of entitlement on our players' parts. We win so much. We won a lot. So not just national championships, but like since Kirby got there. And sometimes I guess as a competitor, you might walk on the field and be like, yeah, we're gonna go out here, we're gonna do a little something, we're gonna stay in the game. But then like at halftime, they like looking around at halftime like they do really trying to beat us. Really trying to beat us? Bet. Okay, let's strap it up, let's get it together, get out your funk, whatever it is. We know the NIL check ain't hit yet. It's coming Monday. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of like it's a wake-up call at halftime because you get so used to beating people, like it's almost like it's not even. I don't know. It kind of works against you a little bit because you think you pretty much can beat everybody.
You're complacent.
And it's their Super Bowl, and everybody that we play, it's their Super Bowl. They are up for it. They have been waiting. It's been circled on their calendar since the summer. We play the Bulldogs. You know what I'm saying? So, and if we kind of sleepwalking and they playing the highest they can play, that's why I kind of look the way I look. And then we strap in, focus, and we look how we look. So
right, Cal, what you
and adrenaline only takes you so far.
Only so far. Yep. Then it's down.
No, I think that was spot on. Like you said, man, when everybody suits up against us, it's their Super Bowl. But this particular team this year, I think we're just we're consistently just inconsistent. And that's why we have games like this. We're a little bit off with the passing game. We don't quite make this block. We just consistently inconsistent across the board. And so I think when you have that, you kind of get the performances that we have versus in the past few years, we've been just so consistently dominant and we're just not there this year.
CA, thoughts on why we are sometimes not, or a lot of times not as good in the first half?
I think it's one of the things Thad mentioned. I think it's a roster thing. I think we're just I think in the previous years our talent gap was a lot bigger than what it is now. NIL and the SEC getting a little deeper all plays into it. I think right now it's harder to separate early, but in that second half we do still have a strong enough team and we're still well coached. I think the adjustments we make on the coaching end is what makes us different in the second half. I think our talent level that gap is not as big as it used to be. So I just think we got to play 4 quarters. I mean, that's just the temperature now because everybody can get players. We don't have first, second, and third unit like we used to, all going to end up on Sunday. Right now, it might be the first and second team, a few guys on the second team, but I don't think we have that talent gap that we used to carry.
I think that's a good point. Talent is spread out. I think the college football season, not just the Dogs, but the college football season here in 2024 has shown that all around. I mean, you had teams like Kentucky go to Oxford and beat Ole Miss, but today I don't know if anybody thinks they can beat them today. But because talent is so spread out, across college football, I think the college football seasons are going to look like this going forward. To be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, I think Shawty said it. Shout out to Kirby. It's not even just for getting these guys together in the second half. Like, a lot of the naysayers or haters outside of the Dog Nation want to say, they play on the cupcake schedule in the East every year. Well, what did we do with the hardest schedule in the nation? Made it to the SEC championship and won. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is. Like CA said, it's a little championship DNA in there too. So, and we was able to build that over some years.
Twice.
So, while some other teams aren't able to pull it together in the second half, Kirby definitely has these Dogs rolling and believing that it's either 60 minutes or however long it takes. I think I heard Dan say that after one game, after the Georgia Tech game, so however long it takes. You know what I'm saying? So, any other parting words of wisdom or things for the Dog Nation before we get up out of here, fellas? Anybody?
Let's get healthy.
Let's get healthy. We wait on the winner of Notre Dame and Indiana for the Sugar Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So, with that said, First Lady said, let the naysayers know. Right. With that said, we appreciate y'all getting in on Facebook, on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? And for my guys, CAJV, Shawty, E-Rob, Cool Cow, everybody watching on Facebook and YouTube, just remember that the 2024 Georgia Bulldogs are SEC champions right now. You know what I'm saying?
Hide the money, y'all. It's poor people.
Go down.